So as you guys know, I've been working with Aoshima for a couple of years now, and recently they contacted me about Aoshima.store. They have created a new web store which has all of the Aoshima kits available. So they sent out a couple of kits for me to try, specifically their new Snap Kit range. This is a range of kits specifically designed for the younger builder to get them excited about building but not overwhelm them. They have a huge variety of different model cars available and also have each of them available in different colors. The kits themselves are super simple and don't really require that much skill yet. You simply just need to cut out a couple of parts. They don't need to be painted. You can paint them, of course, and then apply a lot of stickers to create the final look and do some basic assembly. For this video, they sent out 3 different kits to show what they have available and that there literally is a kit for everyone. Specifically talking about the Prius, as that's a specific audience, but nonetheless I decided just to build it anyway to just get the feel of how these kits build up and show you guys what can be done with them straight out of the box. The instructions are fairly straightforward and really clear. You need a couple of small tools to cut the parts out of the sprues. They are mentioned right here on the left, just a sprue cutter and some pliers and this, but no idea what that is. So with the sprue cutters and the pliers, you are pretty much set to go and you can start building. So just like any other kit, all of the parts are in separate sprues and separate bags, so you simply just need to cut the bag open, remove the part, and then start building. I'm setting the instruction manual up right in front of me so I can clearly see which step I'm at and where which part needs to go. So I'm just starting off with the stickers, trying to get the exterior detailing done and also just see how good these stickers actually are. They are pre-cut on the actual sticker sheet and fit perfectly to shape and size on where they need to be. You just simply stick them on and conform them to shape with either your fingers, a cotton swab, or maybe even a toothpick to press them in some of the tighter areas, and just go around the entire body following all of the instructions and placing all of the stickers. So my intention with these first couple builds is to show the younger audience, or maybe even to get your kids excited for these builds, how simple it is to get one of these builds done and that you don't really need that much skill to start off with. So I'm just keeping it really simple, not using any paint, and simply building it out of the box to see what can be achieved with one of these kits with a first build. So if you want to get your kids into building, I personally think these kits are really nice to start off with, as they are not super expensive, do have a pretty nice level of detail and finishing, and specifically with all of the stickers, it does take a lot of the skill out of this and can create a super nice finish quite easily. One of the things that can be pretty challenging for a younger builder to start off with is actually gluing all of the parts together, knowing what glue to use where and how careful you need to be with the glue. Now, as these are snap kits, that takes that out of the occasion super easily, as all of the parts either snap together or are a super tight press fit. The cool thing about these kits as well is that they are pretty sturdy kits. They are not really as fragile as the regular model kits that we build, where all of the parts need to be glued together, as these are put together with some pins, and as I said, they are a snap or just press fit and are pretty steadily in place. So they can be used to play with as well if the kids are really young and would like to do that. The wheels do spin, and they have a nice sturdy toy car feel as well. For some of the exterior detailing on the wheels, you can simply decide just to leave them silver, but they have included some stickers as well to get some more realism on those too and give it a two-tone look, also adding the logos and some more details for the lugs. So for the more experienced builder, this probably takes about 10, maybe 20 minutes to build from start to finish. But like I said, if you're doing this with your kids and getting them excited on the build, it is a really good way to start off with. Not overwhelming, but it is a good fun hour to fill probably, and also just take them along all of the smaller and easier steps of building and giving them a quite satisfying result pretty fast. For the second build, it is a little bit more detailed as far as the stickers go for all the exterior trim, so that might be a bit of a step up as far as the difficulty level goes. So there's a lot of stickers on the exterior and a lot more trim around the windows in different more fragile stickers, specifically for all the chrome parts that do require a bit more skill and a bit more patience to apply, but I think it's a nice step upwards from the Prius that I did previously. After completing all of the trim on the exterior, we can move on to installing some of the exterior pieces to start the main assembly. Again, some of these are press fit, others just need to be put in place and then are held together with the next piece just snugly fitting it too, and then just completing that section. On the glass part for this Toyota, it doesn't need any stickers on there as they are already all installed on the exterior side with the chrome trim. The interior does need a bit more detailing, and all of that is done with some more stickers for some of the wood grain and also some of the gauges and other details around. Then simply just bend all the parts together, snap the door cards in place, put this piece on the chassis the same you would with any other regular kit, start installing the wheels as well, and then finish it off pretty quickly. So as with pretty much all of these snap kits, they do take about the same amount of time and roughly the same amount of skill. Some have a bit more difficulty on the stickers, others might have a bit more difficulty on some other parts. But with those two now done, there are two very different styles available, as you can see, with many others available on the website. And now I wanted to move on to something more difficult. So you started off with a really easy build at first, then a bit more difficult as far as detailing and sticker wise, and now I want to take it even a step further, keeping it just as simple on the assembly side of things, but just going a bit more onto the custom side of things and starting off with actually painting. So I'm scribing out all the panel lines. I'm using a Panelline scriber, but you could also just use a sharp hobby knife and scribe them out that way. And once all of those are completed, you can start with the simple tasks like removing some of the mold lines and sanding the body down nice and smooth for the primer to stick to it. Of course, after sanding, it is all nice and dusty, and that dust needs to be removed, so I'm using a brush to clean that off, and also a finer brush to clean out all of the panel lines to remove that dust that is in there. Then of course we can put it onto a spray stand or just a old bottle with some double-sided tape, move it into the spray booth and start on the primer. These are just simple basic steps that I would like to have learned really early on in my building life, as I messed up a lot of stuff back then. So it's really important to teach the kids to start with the basics and not overwhelm themselves with a lot of detailing and stuff like that. So I think these kits are really nice for this. After the primer had dried, I decided to use some Tamiya lacquer paints in my airbrush and started applying the color. So with this case, you have started off with the spray cans on the primer, and you could also use a spray can for the color, but that is all up to you and what you have available and what you want to teach your kids. But I decided just to use the airbrush as I have it, and that gives me a bit more flexibility on the colors, as I don't really have that many spray cans. I started off with a gunmetal gray, didn't really like the finish all that much, as the color wasn't what I was after, so I decided just to go over it again, but then with a silver to completely change it and make it a lot brighter of a color and not as dark and toned down as the gunmetal was. After a couple of coats, I set it aside to cure, and then the next day I could move on to the next steps, and that is actually finishing off all of the stickers and hopefully the entire build as well. Now you could take it even further. After you have, of course, painted the exterior, you could also move on to painting all of the details on here as well, instead of using the stickers. But again, like I said, I wanted to keep it a bit more simple and down to earth and use as many of the stock components of the kit as I could to make it as easy and accessible to most. So for example, all of the trim pieces here, you could decide to take it even further and learn some more things like masking it off, or maybe even some brush painting if you're up to it, or just use these stickers and keep it nice and simple. Now if you want to see more of these builds, maybe even take it up a notch and not use most of these stickers, but actually go for a lot more detailing, masking, and painting that way, please leave a comment down below if you are interested in seeing one of these and just taking it to the next level and showing some more simple steps for the younger builder to get into this and start learning it step by step. So for this one, I just kept it pretty simple and back to basics, just painted the exterior to give it a custom touch and more to a personal preference probably, and also get them a bit more excited on the actual intricate details of building kits. Now you could also take it a step further, paint all the other components, make it even more custom and do it that way, but for me I just decided to keep it nice and simple and not overwhelm the first time, or in this case maybe even third time builder, and it really back to basics. If you guys do enjoy this series and are actually excited about getting your kids into building some of these, please feel free to leave comments down below if you want to see more of these intermediate style build videos, getting the really simple basics on video, building these kits and starting it up from there, and not getting overwhelmed as I do with a lot of these builds, using complicated techniques, maybe even expensive tools and all stuff like that. So if you want to see more of these types of videos, leave a comment down below. I will ask a couple of companies to send me out some of these kits that I can use as example pieces, getting it really nice and simple and starting it off with basics. Or instead of keeping it really simple, maybe taking it up a notch. I'm really keeping it simple on this one. I'm saying that a lot in this video, but I really mean it. This is a really simple and down to earth. I gotta stop saying that. But what I could also do is take it up a notch and start detailing it. In this case, I'm using a lot of the stock components, just painting the exterior, but I could also start painting the interior, painting the wheels, maybe even changing the wheels and adding all sorts of other details. If you wanted to see something like that, again, also leave a comment down below. And with that said, all three are now finished. We have a really simple build on the Prius and a pretty simple build on the other Toyota 2000 GT, and then took it up a notch on the Supra, giving it a nice custom color and making it look a little bit better than the bare plastic, but just keeping it simple, as I said about 100 times already in this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment down below, and if you want to see more of these types of videos, let me know what kinds you would like to see also in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.